Hello, everybody. My name is Sheila Mitchell, and I'm from South Africa. I am a trusted seller, and so if anybody wishes to increase their TBC in their wallets, you are more than welcome to buy $100 worth of TBC from me. To, Today, I want to talk to you about a message that actually it was my daughter-in-law. You know, I have a wonderful relationship with my daughter-in-law. I am so lucky when I see how other people, mothers-in-law, oh, there's daughter-in-law doing this, doing that, doing that. We love each other. She is such a darling person, and in fact, both of them are. But I want to read you this message that she sent me. And I want us to think about it. It starts off with one day, sorry, it's not the beginning. It starts off with, let's see if you send it back. We all know or knew someone like this. One day, when I was a freshman in high school, I saw a kid from my class was walking home from school. His name was Kyle. He looked like he was carrying all his books. I thought to myself, why would anyone bring home all his books on a Friday? He must, he must really be a nerd. I had quite a weekend planned, parties and a football game with my friends tomorrow afternoon, and so I shrugged my shoulders and went on. As I was walking, I saw a bunch of kids running towards him. They ran at him, knocked all his books out of his arms, and tripping him so he landed in the dirt. His glasses went flying, and I saw them land on the grass about 10 feet from him. My heart went out to him. So I jogged over to him as he crawled around looking for his glasses, and I saw a tear in his eye. As I handed him his glasses, I said, those guys are jerks. They should get lives. They really should get lives. He looked at me and said, "Hey, thanks." There was a big smile on his face. It was one of those smiles that showed real gratitude. I helped him pick up his books and asked him where he lived. It turned out he lived near to me, so I asked him why I had never seen him before. He said he had gone to private school before now. I would never um, I would have never hung out with a private school kid before. He turned out, but he turned out to be a pretty cool kid. I asked him if he wanted to play a little football with my friends. He said yes. We hung out all weekend, and the more I got to know Kyle, the more I liked him, and my friends thought the same of him. Monday morning, there was Carl with his huge stack of books again. I stopped him and said, "Boy, you are going to build muscles, some serious muscles, with this pile of books every day." He just laughed and handed me half the books. Over the next 4 years, Carl and I became best friends. Carl decided to go to Georgetown and I was going to Duke. I knew that we friends be a to be a doctor, and I was going for business in a football scholarship, honest football scholarship. Valedictorian class, him all the time about being a nerd. He had to prepare a speech for graduation. I was so glad it wasn't me having to get there and speak. Graduation day, I saw Carl. He looked great. He was one of those guys that really found himself during high school. He filled out and actually looked good in glasses. He had more dates than I had, and all the girls loved him. Boy, sometimes I was jealous. Today was one of those. I could see that he was nervous about his speech. So I smacked him on the back and said, "Hey, big guy, you'll be great." He looked at me with one of those looks, the really grateful one, and smiled. Thanks. As he started his speech, he cleared his throat and began. Graduation time is a time to thank those who helped you make it through stuffy. I'm telling all of you that being a friend to someone is the best you can give them. Excuse me. I'm going to tell you a story. I just looked at my friend with disbelief as he told the first day we met. He held himself and he talked of how he had cleaned out his locker so that his mom wouldn't have to do it later and was carrying his stuff home. He looked hard at me and gave me a little smile. Thankfully, I was saved. My friend saved me from doing the unspeakable. I heard the gasp go through the crowd as some handsome, popular boy told us all about his weakest moments. I switched Mum and Dad look at me and smiling that same grateful smile. Not realized, I'm sorry, I tend to get tears in my eyes when I read this because it is so real. Never underestimate the power of your actions. With one small gesture, you can change a person's life for better or for worse. God puts us all in each other's lives to impact one another in some way. Look for God in others. You now have two choices. You can, one, pass this on to your friends, or two, delete it and act like it didn't touch your heart. As I can see, I took choice number one. I took choice number one. Friends are angels who lift us to our feet when our wing will remember no begin or end. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. It's National Friendship Week. Show your friends how much you care. Send this to everybody. Then you know those humans. I wanted to share that with you because it reminds me of TBC, the love that we get in TBC. When I joined TBC, I got nothing but love and friendship from so many in my group. Everybody welcomed me. Everybody was prepared to listen to what I had to say. Everybody gave their opinions, and I have made such good friends from those people that I met in TBC. I can't tell you how much that has meant to me. Now, admin has asked us to broadcast and do live broadcasts. You can preferably do one every day, which is preferable. Or if you can't manage that, then do one a week or twice a week or whatever amount number of times you can. Um, Now, they're giving broadcasters a very special thing, special task to do. Broadcasters are being given uh, 50 orphans, TBC orphans, to contact, to tell them about the $10, to tell them about TBC, to tell them about the special promotion that we're having, to tell them about the migration so that they can migrate in time. Um, Once you've contacted all those 50 orphans, then you can let TBC know, and they will give you another 50 orphans. Now, this to me, if one compares it with the story I've just read about this young boy who found a friend and how that blossomed, if I compare this where that friend was knocked down, um, these orphans, TBC orphans, are often people who joined TBC and they were just left to find their own way. They couldn't find their own way and they just wandered off into something else. But they were members of TBC. And TBC has asked us to give put out a hand of friendship, give a helping hand to them. Can you imagine what this is going to mean to them? Some have never heard of TBC, sorry, not TBC, and some have never heard of the migration. They had no idea what was going on. Now, can you imagine? They were given cookies and they were sitting with their little cookies and not knowing what to do with them. And if they don't migrate, they're going to lose them. Asked to go there and help them. And this is the spirit of TBC as I see it. I've been through a lot in my life with just virtually finding friends. When I was a child, for some reason, when I was at school, I couldn't make friends. There's something that always held me back. Well, they don't like me. Well, I don't think I fit in with them. Things like that. Do you know what the reason was? In my subconscious mind, we forget what babies go through and experience, even as fetuses still in the womb, that they are aware of what is going on. And this was clarified to me when I was 14 years old. My mother told me with great glee how she had almost killed herself trying to abort me because she didn't want another baby. Until my father stopped her and said, "You are going to have this baby." So my father actually saved my life. But you know, I've always felt a special bond with my father. Now that comes from intrauterine. And I never really got on very well with my mother. She was good to me, but there wasn't that bond that one gets that I had with my father. And that is what friendship does. Now, that's what TBC has done for me as well. When I joined TBC, I was almost at my wits' end. I had lost all my money on all these MLM and internet things, trying to make money. I'd lost a whole lot. I had to actually sit my husband down um, one day and tell him, "Look, I'm sorry, I don't have any more money. I've absolutely got nothing." Both of us, it's a second marriage. And we were married in 2000. And I had to tell him, "I'm sorry, I can't pay all my things anymore." And he thought about it and said, "Look, I'll pay for everything that you need. Don't worry about it." That is love. Because somebody else may have just said, "Well, get out then." But no, my darling husband actually sat down and thought of it, and he accepted me as his wife and said, "No, I'm here to help you." And he's helped me since then. So one realized, and then one day I got to once I'd reached my wits' end and I didn't want to do TBC, sorry, not TBC, MLM and internet marketing anymore. I got rid of them all until one day I got a message from a lady that I'd worked with in different programs. And she said to me, Sheila, you have got to join this. I said to her, but Cindy, I don't have any money. I've got about $20 worth in my account. That's all I've got. And I don't have any money of my own anymore because I lost it all. You must join this. Come on. And she walked me through it, and I joined TBC. You know, you will never know what I felt once I joined TBC, and I was given this gift to that. Um, she paid an extra. She said, give me your wallet address quickly, give me your wallet address as soon as I was registered. And I gave it to her. I didn't know what was going on. I had no clue. And the next thing, she gave me a lot of money. Over $8,000 worth. She gave me in TBC as a gift. I walked on air for about 3 days after that. I could not believe that somebody would be that kind to me. And as well, TBC had given me a gift. TBC. I'd been in so many MLM programs and internet programs, and all I had to do was pay out to them. And yeah, TBC was saying, yeah, you're my friend. Here's a gift for you. You join us. And thank you for joining us. Well, that was me. I was sold on TBC after that. I could not believe that that was what TBC had actually given me. And, you know, I compare this with this TBC, what they are doing, wanting us to do for for those orphan TBCians. Um, just like that young boy who was knocked down by other children. Um, but another kind voice saw him and went forward and helped him and became his friend. By so doing, he saved his life because he was going to commit suicide that weekend. But his life was saved just through kindness. Can't we also show that kindness to other people? TBCians are known to be kind and giving of nature because that is the leadership that we get from admin, being kind. And then talking about leadership from admin and so on, it's amazing. They've just put out the most amazing uh, uh, promotion for us from the 21st of June until the 21st of July. If we recruit somebody, if somebody new joins, they will get 125,000 cookies. That's equal to $10,000. I mean, who gives that away as a present? For goodness sake. But TBC does. TBC loves people, and their mission is to build everybody up and to make sure that everybody has sufficient money. Because believe you me, the minute we hit the billion, there will be so many people who will be using TBC when we hit 1 billion members that it will overtake everything else. Because by then, we can be sure, if we look into the future, we see the fiat currency, the dollars and all the euros and the rands and all the different fiat currencies collapsing, and then there will be one uh, um, currency that everybody will use. But TBC will be on its own because there will be so many, because the admin has promised that eventually their aim is to have 1 million billionaires and 1 billion millionaires by the time we reach our ultimate number of members. They for this special promo as well, they are also rewarding broadcasters with 500 million cookies for doing broadcasts. If um, if a newcomer comes in, they start off with their 125,000 cookies, which is equal to $10,000. And then if they spend just another $100, they will get 5 billion, yes, it is billion, 5 billion cookies, which will be equal to $40,000. Actually, what they'll get is they'll get 100. They'll get that, but that plus. Sorry, no, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. They'll get their $10,000 from the cookies, and I wrote it down here so that I didn't forget it, but I still get myself mixed up. And then uh, the 40,000. So, and that the yes, 40,000 cookies. So they'll be 50,000. They'll have $50,000 worth of um, TPC of cookies, which they can redeem in November. This is, to me, really beyond. And admin doesn't just do it for their own sake, they're doing it for the love of people because they want um, people to be able to live decent lives, to be able to um, grow and to feed their family without any problem. There will have to be some workers there, so we won't all be just sitting back on our heels. We will have to work as well, but at least we will then be able to pay people working for us sufficient money to be able to live decent lives and to feed their families, and not to have 3 or 4 jobs a day in order to make ends meet. That is the mother working and the father working. What happens to the children in the meantime? They're neglected. A creche where they get ingrained with other thoughts from the elite. Under TBC, they will be able to get decent jobs where they are decently paid, sufficient so that the mother can stay at home, bring up the children as should be and used to be in the early days. It's not that I'm against women working, certainly not. But at least if there are children at home and they need you, one of the parents can be there always to look after them and guide them in their ways. I think my time is almost up, but that's all I have to say to you today. And I want to thank you and those who may be watching my program later. I want to thank you for watching it, and I wish you well. Goodbye. I'll see you again.